What's going on, everybody? It's 9 o'clock, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, the Mike and Mish Show. What's up, Mike?
What is going on?
Oh.
I just got back from getting a haircut, and I watched an episode of WWE Rivalries, and it was like Stone Cold Steve Austin versus McMahon. That's what they had on. It was fantastic.
Was it on like Vice or AMC? What channel was that on?
It was, I don't know. It was
A&E, something like that?
It was on like on demand.
Oh, okay. No, I've caught those shows. They're on like Sunday nights on whatever channel used to play Breaking Bad. What is that? AMC. They're on AMC like Sunday nights. Those are good shows, man. Especially for people like us that grew up in the 90s that like love all that shit. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Big drama show. Hey, we are here with 3 guests tonight. We got Jenny Savage coming on. She's going to be fighting Taylor Starling January 27th on that BKFC Prospect Series card. Yeah. We got Karla Alvarez. She's making her way to the BKFC ring for the first time on that card. And we also have Danasabe Mohammed, who is also fighting on that card against our guest last night, Ismail Israilov. What a banger that's going to be. After talking to him last night, I can't be more excited about this one. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah.
This is the most excited I've been about a single fight on a Prospect Series card yet. For sure. And actually,
it's a mystery.
Yeah, and actually, there's a few fights on this card that I don't know if they're being considered prospects or they're just on the Prospect Series card. Because remember when we talked to Nelson, there were supposed to be a bunch of amateur fights on this one as well, and they couldn't get the amateur fights passed in Albuquerque or whatever, so they added a bunch of pros and like made it an awesome card. The Matt Adams one is one. Juan Adams being from the UFC and PFL, you know what I mean? If he is considered a prospect in the Prospect Series, that's very intriguing. Yeah. And then you got Danasabe Mohammed and Ismail.
Yeah, I think you got that, Ismail.
Yeah, that one also, after talking to him last night, or talking to him and his coach last night, or his manager, that was unbelievable. We have our first guest waiting. Come on right now. Let's hit up our sponsors right quick, and let's get the show on the road. Here we go. Who we got, Mike?
Look at this. It's the Shave Parlor. You know all about it. They are the best in Florida. Get down there. 131 Del Prado Boulevard, Cape Coral, Florida. Certified shave and fade masters and beard specialists Jay, Omar, Heather, and Naughty Nate will hook you up with the cleanest fades and cuts. And man, they can do anything. I'm telling you. And I'm getting a haircut from Swervo when we get down there, I believe. So can't wait. Can't wait for it.
You think they play WWE Rivals when you're in the chair at the Shave Parlor?
No, they play Mike and Mish.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. They play us.
That's right. Goddamn right they do. Next one, we got BK Bet Shark. BK Bet Shark is the smartest guy in bare knuckle betting. So get over to @BK Bet Shark on Instagram. Subscribe, follow his tutelage, and watch the money stack up in your bank accounts. And the fights start next week. We got January 27th and February 2nd back to back. So it's a good time to jump on that BK Bet Shark train and gamble, people. Gamble. Why not? Let's go.
Hey, Dynamic Life. Founded by a team of medical professionals with over 25 years of experience in regenerative medicine, anti-aging, weight loss, and sexual wellness. Take back control of your life now. Go to www.livedynamic.com and become a patient in just 20 seconds. And check out the Dynamic Life Instagram page @LiveDynamic. That's LIV Dynamic on Instagram.
And last but not least, Bucked Up. We got buckedup.com, Bucked Up Energy, Bucked Up Supplements. Go get some Bucked Up stuff. It's the cleanest supplements on the market. It's the best tasting energy drinks out there with 0 sugar in them. Use promo code Mike and Mish 20. Get 20% off your total purchase and get bucked up. Mike, we got 3 guests. Why don't we bring in our first one of the evening? We are excited to talk about her. She is awesome. And this fight between her and Taylor, is like 4.5, close to 5 years in the. Who's counting? Let's go ahead and bring her in. the Macho Miss herself. I threw that. That's a throwback. Macho Miss Jenny Savage. Yeah. Yeah. What up?
Oh, yeah. What's up? How y'all doing?
Doing great. I don't know.
You don't go by the Macho Miss anymore, do you?
That's my MMA moniker.
Oh man.
So that's why you don't use it. So
But
it's strictly
Jenny,
MMA.
Jenny, before we get into this interview and all that shit, you are now in an organization that allows fighters to show their personality with their walkouts, show their personality in their interviews. This is the fucking promotion that you could put on a robe. You could play the pomp and circumstance, and you could walk out with a cowboy hat and do the whole Macho Man thing. I'm telling you. It just a thought. I don't know.
Hey, I did. I actually walked out to the pomp and circumstance right before my graduation. I actually even did the tassel thing. It was, I believe, my fight with Delaney.
You did? Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're not. You're not stupid.
Well, hey, welcome back, Jenny. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you. And this is a fight that, like I said, a lot of people want to see this fight. You and her have a history together. We haven't seen you in the BKFC Squared Circle since March. What was the long break for? After you fought Britain, you haven't fought again. What's the long layoff?
Well, I think the issue is that I did fight Britain. She was the world title holder, so it's gonna be a minute. Nobody's gonna really want to jump on me. But thankfully, Taylor, again, she wanted to make this happen. So kudos to her for pulling the strings on her end, and I'm glad that I was able to do something of mine to make this happen for the everybody, the real winners, the crowd. So
hell yeah, this is gonna be a good one. And yeah, we did our part too. We tried for you.
We wanted to see it. Everybody watching wants to see it. We've been talking about it for months, like long before. You could see so just us putting out a post about it, you could see how many people want it. Anytime you put out a post or Taylor puts out a post, like you can just see how many people want to see this fight. So it's very nice when a fight that people want to see and the fighters want the fight too, and it gets made,
Absolutely. I mean, I'm one of those people that a lot of people, they got like a target on my back, I guess, for me. They want to take me out, but from a distance. So it's sort of like they'd rather go through my opponents that I've already fought. So to be able to be lucky enough to have a second rematch in a row, like this is actually pretty cool. I mean, I think that this says a lot for myself and my brand. And it's just a bad loss on those who had the opportunity. I mean, I'm sure they still do, but it's sort of like they're going to have to wait in line, kind of,
Right. And you said that you just got done fighting the champ, and that might have had something to do with you not getting a fight. That goes to like talk about how Jules has done a great job building the division, but let's be honest, there's only about 10 or 12 girls total right now, right? Yeah. There's really not a lot. And it wouldn't make
regular fighters, yeah.
And it really wouldn't make sense for you to fight like a debuter, you know what I mean? And,
no.
Yeah, so yeah, that puts you in a kind of a crappy situation.
It's tough.
Unless they're an Invicta, ex-Invicta, ex-Bellator,
of course.
UFC. Yeah. We have those though. That's where I'm having an issue and a hang-up is they'll have the accolade or like the respect that I feel like I think that, people like myself, people who have started from the beginning have actually gotten to see. They'll have that, and that's cool. But it's like, if you have that same stature, why can't we meet? There's people who have said my name behind the scenes. You wouldn't even believe some people that everybody loves, and I am still looking over here like the bad guy. It's just
tell us who they are. Go ahead, Jenny. Tell us who they were.
Shit.
Who said your name?
Well, we know that there's Andy Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we had a little pitter patter with me and Sharissa Sagala. I know she was recovering her leg, so I guess she's kind of like, she don't count because I'm sure she'll fight if it's a good number or whatever she entices her. But yeah, Pro Gonzalez. I mean, I don't think she's coming back, but a lot of people have thrown salt on my name like I'm some bum, you know. But then where they at? You know what I mean? I fought Britain, and it sort of says a lot when people want to say that they think that I suck, but the only person I ever lost to was Britain. So what does that say about how they think about her? So,
yeah, your only losses are to Britain, so that doesn't make any sense. Another one that they announced that they signed Felice Herrig like a year and a half ago.
Yes,
Felice Herrig is a very formidable opponent, 115-pound girl, and if she wanted to make her debut and fight somebody, Felice Herrig has a name that like could be like right in title contention if she got like one good win. And like you're a perfect opponent for her. So you know, I agree with you. There's people out there. But let's talk. We have had you on 3 times, 4 times already. So we're not going to go into your whole background like we have in the past. Let's talk about this fight and Taylor and remind everybody who's watching right now that's going to be watching on January 27th. Where does the heat between the two of you originate? Like, did you guys know each other before you fought each other on M1 Global 4.5 years ago?
No, it's really funny. She was cutting weight, as she had to have been dying, and I noticed it. What's funny is I was defending her. She thought I was calling her a bitch. I was calling the lady who was checking us. Who was it? The athletic commission lady of Kentucky, who's now fired, by the way, because nobody likes her. Little did Taylor know, because she was a little out of it because of her weight cut. She thought I was saying all that stuff about her. So her and the athletic commission lady teamed up against me. And the lady waived all of her fees, from what I was told, allegedly, gave her extra corners for God knows why. I didn't care. You know, it's my home show, you know, so I don't care. Nate Landwehr was the reason, my teammate was the reason why I had the opportunity to be on M1 Global to begin with. So really, we were just hoping for anybody in the moment to give me a last minute fight, because I just needed the money. I needed I just wanted to be on M1 Global. So, you know, it's funny that she mentioned in another interview, I believe, she goes, you know, I was taking this off of like a couple days notice, as if I wasn't, you know what I mean? It's just, there's little shade. That's where the little stuff is coming from. And it seems as though she's always wanting to say stuff about me. And I'll admit, when she came to BKFC, I let her have it, man, because I felt like she was copying my mold. I feel like she was following me to BKFC. She was like teaming up with Bretton Hart, who hated me. I mean, everything. I mean, but who wouldn't want to fight Paige Van Zandt? I wasn't blaming her for that.
Yeah.
But other than that moment of contingency with like between us, it's like, you bitch, you're here. You're trying to take my spot, my cash cow, you know? And she's a blonde. So of course everybody they think they have more fun. So I'm at a loss, and I'm mad. I'm an angry person in that time. So to see all this happen at once, everybody hates me. I'm the bad guy. I'm the heel. And really, I feel like I'm actually a pretty nice, decent person. I just remember all of this in culmination. I feel like this is why. And I feel like she's younger than me. She might look up to me. She said she's looked up to me. However, there's been things where she's told hotel people that she was going to beat my ass on site. And then she would laugh walking past me, looking at that same hotel people. So it's like, I feel like she might be scared to tell the truth. I don't think she means to be a liar, but she kind of is. You know, I don't want to like defend her while I'm talking shit about her, but I'm just trying to understand why somebody is like that.
Or you're just trying to be reasonable. You're trying to figure it out, right?
I am
trying to talk it out in real time.
I am.
Yeah.
Because I stopped picking on her after she had her fight with Misfit, because she had enough, you know, too many people coming at her. My message is suicide awareness. I'm not gonna sit here and beat somebody while they're down like that. Like, I can only imagine getting hit by Misfit. I wouldn't stop like that. If I felt like her, I would have like went to the canvas, like, you know what I mean? I'm dead. You know what I mean? That's how I would have done it. But you know, it happens. And so I just felt like, you know, she did it, I didn't. It's better that she did that with her. And, you know, I'm over here, and I'm grateful that I'm in my situation. I learned from her. So I feel sort of like I got to be kind of humble, but at the same time, it's not really directed towards her. I just don't want to be an asshole for no reason when this never started on my end, you know?
Absolutely. So going back to that fight, it's a little wild. Some of the things that, not even the fight itself, like just surrounding the fight, the coincidences that people might not. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Everyone that's watching right
it's
now,
fucking crazy.
go on YouTube. You look up Jenny Savage versus Taylor Jenkins. It's not Taylor Starling, right? So Taylor Jenkins, M1 Global. What's funny about it is when you guys come out, the commentators are Sean Wheelock and Chris Lytle,
Right,
which is absolutely insane to me because I was not expecting that to happen. And I actually remember watching your fight, but I think I watched it from a camera that didn't have like the actual commentary on it because I know I saw parts of it, but when I watched the full thing with the walkouts, I was like, wait, what the hell? Kyle texted me. He's like, is that Sean Wheelock and Chris Lytle? And they're going to be commenting on this fight too, which is really crazy.
Hey,
but there's more.
And I'm going to have the same corners in my corner this time too.
You're going to have Nate Landwehr and
with the exception of Nate. We're going to have Mike Merriman and we're going to have Christian Nelson. So they were in my corner, and that was like the only time both of them were in my corner like that. So, well, Mike was running the show, but he's over here, playing, taking his shirt off. Hey, this left, like, so I have my people in my corner. I should have had all along, I just had to be burned and left at a world title. My coach, I'm not trying to throw shade at him, but he did me dirty. He left me for actually Nate's fight. And, I didn't think that Nate needed him as much as I did. I needed my coach. So I feel like I had to let him go because I never wanted to be vulnerable in that situation again. Not having your coach that you have a whole game plan with and no one else, that's kind of hard to stay positive. And I feel like I was just this close, so to not have him in my corner, there's no excuses. Britain won. But at the end of the day, I got the right people in my corner now, and it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, your corner was hyping you up too on that fight. They were definitely hyping you up, yelling at the ring, clapping, yelling. It was good. You were hyped up. You guys were hyped up coming out. But
that's family. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
You're probably going to say the same thing I'm going to say, Kyle. And that is when Taylor comes out, all of a sudden I look and you see she's coming out with Truck and Carson. And then one of Tony Soto, which I don't know his name, and I wish I did. But he's the tall guy with the long hair, and he's always in Tony Soto's corner now. Yeah. And it's just so funny because if I was to watch this when that fight happened, I would not know one person there. None. Zero people.
You know Chris Lytle. And
I would have known Chris Lytle. And I know Chris Lytle, but I don't actually know him, So, but now I do, which is really wild. So I thought that was kind of crazy, like all of the community and how small it is,
Yeah, it's all because the Russian people, you know what I mean? I was about to say Russian mafia or something like that. I don't want to be rude.
It's wild. No, Jenny. So let's talk about this. When you fought Taylor Jenkins, who is now Taylor Starling, I don't know if she's still Taylor Jenkins. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But either way,
we'll have to ask her.
You fought her in her debut fight. You guys had a good scrap. You ended it in the third, right? That was in MMA. That was 4.5 years ago. You guys have both developed as fighters. You have grown significantly in your career as far as skill wise goes, strength wise. You're getting older. Let's be honest. As you're not you're not old. I'm not saying that, but as you get older, though, as you get older, you get stronger. Let's be honest. You do.
Yeah.
So you're probably peak physical.
Everything but my lower back, right?
You and her are probably stronger, bigger, faster. You have developed your skills from 4 years ago to now. You have seen her BKFC career from the start to now. You have seen what you've done from start to now. How do you see yourself and her lining up this time around compared to the first time, which probably isn't even close to the same? And how do you feel you two match up this time around?
Well, hopefully I heard you correctly because I just have one working headphone. Oh yeah. Can you give me some other headphones, please? Where's mine? Do you know where mine is? Could you look in my gym bag? Okay, now I'm gonna answer you. Sorry.
Sure.
I'm gonna have some backup just in case. But yeah. So I'm excited. I think that honestly, I have an advantage. Not because I won the last fight. I believe that anything can happen in bare knuckle. Look at what happened again. Not to keep bringing her up, to rub it in, the salt in the wound, but Sharissa's leg broke, you know, so, or popped out of place. So anything can happen. I'm not ignorant
was nuts.
to any outcome that is, you know, in this crazy freaking sport that we're still learning. Anything can happen. But that being said, I still feel like I have an advantage because I'm in a better place mentally. I have came out of the freaking ashes for real. Like I mean, I have faced some stuff, you know, like we've spoke before. I've faced the type of depression that you want to die, but you can't kill yourself. You just can't. It's something that's just not in you, but you want to die so bad. So you end up dying 1,000 deaths over and over. And it's something that I never gave into, no matter what, because I had to be an example for my kid this time, you know, like his dad, you know, I'm not trying to make him feel like his dad wasn't any less than an awesome freaking dad that he was. He was a great dad, and it all caught us off guard.
Right.
But you know, I have to be the other example so that when my son goes to reach in his example bag, he remembers what mom did, just like I did when my mom was, you know, the badass mom she is, you know, with raising us 3 kids, no dads. So it's something that is instilled in me, and I'm proud of, because, you know, like Hank Williams Jr. Said, country folks will survive, and that's something that is like true to my family. So going into this fight, I'm like used to being 115. I literally am 115 right now as I'm talking to you. This is nothing to me.
Wow.
I eat all day long. I started at 141 after being sad as shit, you know, losing to Britain. I was 141 pounds. That's crazy to me to think that I'm walking around right now at my fight weight. So there's no stress right here. You know, I don't have to spend extra money on no nutritionist, nothing like that. I just have the right mindset. I've ran, God, hundreds of miles, and I'm not exaggerating. I've thousands of push-ups. We do push-ups every day, no less than 300. I mean, this is something that I've never done before. So I just, like I said, I'm surrounded by the right people. I have awesome management, great sponsors. I don't give a crap what happens in this fight. I just know that I'm coming out victorious no matter what.
That's awesome. It's
Pretty
incredible.
good attitude to have.
Hey, you brought up
Yeah.
your son. I just wanted to ask you. I watched the Bare Knuckles show last week with you and Brian Sosha, and he played that clip of your son playing the Bare Knuckle entry music on his guitar. And you said that he taught himself how to play the guitar. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
is the musical gene in your family? Are you musical, or is that something that runs in the family, or is he like an anomaly right now?
Sort of. We're from Tennessee, so we have Music City, and that's music all over the place. You know, we listen. I'm telling you, I could listen to any genre there is, except for the new rap. I don't like this new stuff.
I know,
But
me neither. I
anything
feel
else,
like
it's
I'm like my parents or something, but I'm really
Me
not.
too.
It's not good. It's really not good. I promise you, it's not. I'm not the same as them. It's just
Me
not
too,
good. The
me
rap's not
too.
good.
Yeah, and his dad, you know, his father always inspired him to get on the guitar and bought him a guitar. So he was sort of dabbling with it, but then after, you know, his dad's passing, he really got into his guitar, and he was about 5 or 6 years old, and he didn't know how to play the notes, but he could do the song, like the melody part.
Wow.
So that's when we knew he had a gift.
I had a really good friend of mine that taught himself how to play, never took a lesson, and he can listen to a song, listen to it a couple times, and then play that song on his guitar. And it always blew all of our friends' minds. And he went on to be a professional guitarist. Like, I didn't know that was a job. He was a professional guitarist that was like hired by professional artists to like play guitar on their album. So like he was on like Rihanna's album and like a bunch of other like well-known, I should know them, but yeah, it's
cool.
a very cool, that's an amazing talent.
I'm gonna have to give me ideas.
There is this kid on Instagram, right? You gotta look this kid up. He's called Miles Music Kid, right? Unbelievable. Kid. This kid, I can't even explain how ridiculous this kid makes music with all different kinds of instruments, uses the computer, use like Fruity Loops to make beat. Like he's on there doing ridiculous things. And he's got to be like 6 or 7 years old. It's the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen in music before. It's wild. You got to check it out. Miles Music Kid. I don't know how the heck I came across his Instagram, but I'm like, I don't follow any music stuff really. It's all like sports and shit like that. And then boom, I don't know. Then this kid just comes up and he's playing like a friggin' banjo or something. I'm like, this kid's nuts.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Your phone was listening to you have a conversation, and then it was like, oh, he was talking about music, and then it popped something in your timeline.
That's probably what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenny, before we wrap up with you, I got to ask you, were you channeling your inner Habib Nurmagomedov when you were talking to the BKFC and you called Taylor, quote, big drama show? She's a big drama show. She'll say very nice things in your inbox, be very nice, very rude and nasty and two-faced. I'm ready to shut her up and I'm ready to retire her. The big drama show made me think of Khabib, but like when you said that, is there still like you have true animosity towards Taylor? That sounds like you do.
I didn't at first until I read her article and I listened to her. I guess she was talking on Social's show and she's just saying things like she's gonna knock me out, finish me. That's confidence, She said I've been talking crap. I haven't been talking crap. I've been focusing on losing weight and paying my bills and surviving because I haven't fought since March. And I'm trying to make all my sponsors happy. Like literally has been posting nothing but juggalo stuff and sponsors. Like, what are you talking about, you delusional fucking asshole? Like, leave me alone. I'm so sick of people picking on me, like saying I've said things like Britain did that. It's just enough. I will literally tell you what I say. I will say it to the whole world and you. You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But when she said that, and on top of she's gonna finish me, and she thinks because she believes that I'm ignorant or something like that, that because I beat her the first time, and that I don't know, that I've just been so cocky ever since, that's why I'm gonna beat her. And it's like, no, I love rubbing that in your face because it gets you upset, and I'm getting to you. That's what the game is about. It's the art of skullduggery. Learn it. You know what I mean?
I love it. You know what? BKFC really did a great thing putting this card together. The BKFC Prospect Series hasn't had a card like this yet, with you and with the likes of you and Taylor and Dotson and High Pine and Donald Sanchez and Noah Cutter. These are big, well-known names in the bare knuckle world on a card that's going to showcase a bunch of new fighters in the BKFC. I love this card. It's so much. There's so much intrigue in it, and we're so pumped to see you fight. We're going to ask you 4 quick questions that have nothing to do with fighting, though. And I know that you are Jenny Savage. You used to be the Macho Miss. So I got to ask you this: did you ever own Macho Man Randy Savage's rap album, "Be a Man"?
I did. I do. I have it. Babe, where's Be a Man at?
No way. No way. Oh.
Yeah, I do.
I've never even run into this in the store.
Dude.
Where's Be a Man? The song video. The Macho Man. I gave it to you.
She's not fucking bullshitting right now. She's real.
It's going to be here in a second.
That's so
with the DVDs. It's in the DVD, the collection.
Nice.
Oh my God. So for those who don't know, Macho Man Randy Savage put out a rap album years ago. There's diss tracks against Hulk Hogan on it. There's a tribute called The Perfect Friend. That is a tribute song to Mr. Perfect. The fact that she
find it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, me too. What's that? Oh, nice.
It's a doll.
Oh, that outfit. That's so awesome. Man, I missed
one
those
day. I'll walk out with that.
I don't know if you were quite on yet, but when we were getting started, I was saying I went to go get a haircut today, and I walk in, and never before, I've been going to my barber for 12 years. He has never had WWE or any wrestling ever on the TV. I walk in tonight and they're watching like WWE rivalries, and the episode was it wasn't Macho Man, because that would be really crazy if it was, but it was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon, and it was such an awesome episode. It really brought me back. It was incredible. But
wow,
it's such a coincidence that was on.
We believe you that you have that. That's unbelievable. Second question. Here we go.
Second question, and it's funny because you just were talking about this. What is the best music genre and era?
Oh man, that's a good one. We'll see. It all depends. I think that every genre has subgenres. So I think that's kind of unfair when you say genre and era because
Yep.
it's. But one of my favorites I can say is I love outlaw country. Um, I could just listen to that all day. I love I love untraditional music too also. So there's just you. Oh my gosh. Okay, you can't find it, but you believe me.
I believe.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna post it when I find it though. and
I
tag y'all.
cannot wait. I'm looking forward to it.
But I'll
Outlaw
have to
country.
say R&B, 90s R&B also, and outlaw country probably 70s, 80s.
You know what's funny is
Fucking awesome.
because I was going through all your stuff today on Instagram, and a lot of the songs that you use, like there'll be like Tony Braxton, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't heard this. You're making me. I haven't heard that forever, but like that makes me think of the '90s. R&B is so good in the '90s. Even
yeah.
like rap, R&B, and even alternative music got huge in the '90s, and I feel like there's just so many good songs. '90s is the best, I think. I love the '90s.
Oh man, I could leave it on all day.
Love it. Third question for you: is it ever? This is kind of a personal question, and I need to settle. I need to settle an argument. I need to settle an argument in my house. Is it ever okay to start the dishwasher when it's half full?
I wash as I go. We keep a no dish policy in our house. Everything.
I like
clean.
that too.
Yeah.
I like that too. But my wife likes to start the dishwasher when there's like 6 items in the fucking thing, and then it will be done, run, and everything in there's clean. But I wouldn't know that because I open it up and it's like there's like 6 things in there. So I start putting dirty dishes in there. She's like, "Oh, those are clean," and I'm like, "What's clean?"
Well,
There's clean. There are like 5 in there.
It's like a waste of water.
All right. Well, you didn't settle my argument, damn it, Jenny.
Yep.
All right. Last question.
Well, I'll tell you this. My grandmother, she's taught me to put bare minimum water so that you could just wash it and go and make sure it's always warm and soapy and, have it always there to clean. And I'm a weirdo though. I fold and put away my clothes right away. Like a lot of people say they leave their clothes on their bed.
I'm with you on that one. I like that. I like
that would never fly in my house.
Gotta have it out of the way.
Yeah, Steph would have that in the drawers in 5 minutes. They got to be done now, right now. It's time. It's 9:30. Let's get them done now. Why don't we go to bed? No, got to do them now.
All right, last question for you, Jenny.
What 2 Major League Baseball teams did Randy Savage play minor league ball for?
Ohio, but I'm not sure what they're called. Right?
She's right on. There's 2 of them. One of them is in Ohio.
I forgot what it's called though, because I don't like baseball. It's boring.
All right, I just never the answer.
No, I do know him for baseball though.
All right, he played minor league ball for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. So there you go. You got half credit, Jenny. Thank you so much for coming on. This fight is 4.5 years in the making. There's real heat between the two of you. You guys are the co-main event on the January 27th event in Albuquerque, New Mexico, one of the best fighting towns in the entire country. BKFC Prospect Series. Any last words for anybody that's going to be tuning in before we let you go?
I want to shout out to all my sponsors. I want to start with Veteran Grown, Hayabusa. I want to thank Wildside MMA. I have so many people I want to thank. Christian Nilsson, Mike Merriman for being there. You guys are everything. Thank you. My love, my everything, Adrian Thomas. He has been my rock. Literally has been there at every teardrop. He's been there encouraging me, telling me what I need to hear, the good and the bad, the ugly, everything in between. So I just want to say, most and foremost, thank the Lord Jesus, and thank you guys and David Philman. Oh, I gotta say, thank you to my people at Chicken Pound. Look, hold on a second.
Chicken Pound. Every time I see this, I get hungry.
Oh my gosh, y'all need to get them Italian chicken balls, y'all. Chicken Pound, and use my code. You guys need to use my code Gangster. Get you some discounts. So.
Get down to Pound Town, right? That's what they say. They say get on down to Pound Town.
my pink and my brown. Yeah, no.
All right, Jenny, that's awesome. Thank you for coming on, and best of luck on January 27th. You and Taylor go ahead and show everybody why they wanted this fight so bad.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on, Jenny.
All right.
All right. See ya.
Night.
Bye. Jenny Savage. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, we're kind of friendly with everybody, so I really don't. I don't know.
There's probably
They were.
like 2 people I don't like, and then you know who they are? They're
Yeah, I'm not going to tell.
Yep,
Let's
there
not.
we're go off. That's it.
All
I'm
right.
going off right now.
Hey, so we got 2 other guests tonight, and our third guest is already here, so we're going to bring him on. He's going to be taking on our. We talked to Ishmael Israelov. Ishmael Israelov last night. 23-year-old.
We only practiced that all day yesterday.
Yeah,
We
I
still
know.
didn't get it together.
23-year-old stud out of Jackson Wink from the Caucasus. From the Caucasus Mountains.
Yep.
You know those guys are bad boys, but he got mad. He didn't get thrown no cupcake in his debut from the Caucasus. You know.
Yeah, that's a throwback to Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, yeah. So let's go ahead and bring him on. Papa Midnight, Danasabe Mohammed. Let's go.
Nice.
What's up, buddy? Hey, did I say your first name right? Danasabe?
Danasabe. You said it really well. Most people get it wrong, pretty wrong the first time. But yeah, Danasabe.
Danasabe.
Danasabe, dude, welcome to the show. This is the Mike and Mish show, and we're excited to talk to you. We talked to your opponent last night. I don't know if you saw that, but
I didn't see it yet. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it tonight. I mean, I've been just training super hard twice a day. I was just super beat last night after sparring. I was like, I need to get some rest. Went to sleep early. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Before we get into anything that we're talking about here, the paintings and pictures. Is this you behind you? Did you do those?
Yeah. There's a paintings that I do. Yeah, I paint.
No way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a painting of my son. Yeah, right here. Let me grab it. You see it?
Wow.
Little painting I did of my son.
Is that like your favorite hobby outside of fighting? Painting?
Yeah, it's my favorite hobby to do outside of fighting for sure.
Wow, that's incredible, man.
That is cool.
Awesome stuff. I'm an art guy myself. I do like to draw. I don't paint, but I do draw, pencil draw, and I could do a little bit of that, but that's pretty impressive, my friend. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I used to do a lot of music and stuff, and I guess the arts, martial arts, it all goes hand in hand. Well,
dude, you're coming into the bare knuckle game now. BKFC, you got an MMA background. You fought for Bellator. What was it, Dragon House? You were like a staple at Dragon House for a while.
Young Laws Dragon House. Yeah, I fought for them a lot, especially in my amateur career a lot.
You're managed by? Are you training at Winklejohn at all, or are you just managed by their management team?
I'm managed by Jackson Wink Worldwide. They just signed me a few weeks ago, so awesome. They're the reason why I'm on here now. So I'm very happy for them. They're a great management company. They actually the easiest to work with that I've seen. They pretty much wanted to do everything for me, so it wasn't too hard to get paperwork and stuff done because they're on it. But I'm also a promoter outside of it. I have my own pro MMA organization, SF Combat, which we do here in Napa, California, and so I know the ins and outs of it, and I know how hard it is to deal with fighters. So for them to reach out the way they did and get everything done the way they did is really professional. It makes my life easier.
All right, for the non-geography guy that I am, what part of California is Napa? Is that like mid California, Southern California? Where is Napa?
More Northern California. It's in the Bay Area, so it's like close to San Francisco. In Vallejo, if anybody knows that, Oakland, it's really close to all of those areas.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And are you you originally from there, born and raised, or where are you from?
From Arizona, but moved out to Napa County pretty young. I lived in Sacramento for a little bit, but most of my whole life has been in Napa. Yeah.
What got you interested in bare knuckle? Being an MMA guy, coming up through MMA. This is not the sport that everyone just jumps right into. So, what got you interested in why you here?
Well, it's one of the fastest growing sports for sure, and it's really, really exciting to watch. I love the action. I love to see how much it's grown in such a short amount of time. And like my first passion was boxing. I started when I was 16. I was like a troubled kid, and I got adopted by this family, and they told me that I needed to do something to stay out of trouble. So I started boxing, And then after I fought a few times, I transitioned into MMA and stuck with it and was just, good at it. So I turned pro. And then the whole time, I kind of saw like the bare knuckle coming up on the side. One of the promoters that was my manager before started his own bare knuckle organization with Ken Shamrock, which was Valor. And he really started getting in my ear about, like maybe transitioning to bare knuckle or thinking about it because he saw that I was, good with boxing and I did good in MMA. And that was pretty much it. And ever since then, I wanted to do it. I wanted to fight in bare knuckle. And I had a fight lined up before, it fell through. And then this finally came up. So I was like, oh, it's time, I need to get in there.
Did you have the fight lined up for BKFC or Valor?
It was for Valor. But I'm happy that didn't happen and that I got to, go with the big boys.
So that wasn't the most recent one that actually happened. It was one of the ones that got like kind of canceled because there was a few times where.
Yeah, I got canceled during COVID. It was actually the week of the shutdown. The week of the shutdown was supposed to be the show, and then it just fell through. And then I never heard anything back. And this opportunity came up, so I was just like, wow, I want to fight for BKFC because they're the biggest and the best. So
that is absolutely true. It's unbelievable. The organization has grown so fast. So have you been following and watching all the fights up to this point? Do you have anybody that you fucking love watching?
I have been watching a lot of fights. There is a lot of really good fighters. I mean, you guys cycle through a lot of people. Right now, I think Mike Perry is the best and the most popular for sure. I mean, there's not really too many people that I'm super, super excited about. El Gallo, that guy is dope too. I love watching him and seeing his character. He's just super cool and just ready to fight,
Yep.
I want to be.
What are your thoughts on Lorenzo Hunt?
Lorenzo Hunt? Oh, he's the all-time best for sure. Nobody's better than Lorenzo Hunt. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't say him first. For some reason, it slipped my mind, but Lorenzo Hunt is the best.
Well, I think Lorenzo Hunt would agree. He's a very honest guy, and I think he would let you. He would also.
Yeah,
he would let you know.
He's the big dog,
Yeah, he would definitely say that. He would be like, "Yeah, how come you didn't say me first? I'm the best. I'm the guy."
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, if you're watching this, Lorenzo, my bad. I don't know why that slipped, but you're the top dog.
That is so funny. Now you mentioned Ken Shamrock and Valor. I got to tell you this story. Are you come from? You live in Napa, which is you said is northern part of. Do you know a town called Susanville, California?
Susanville, I've heard of it. Yeah, for sure.
It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere, dude. There's an army base out there. Mike and I are both full time in the military.
Okay.
I was out there at a place called Sierra Army Depot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sierra Army Depot is in the middle of nowhere, and it's in Northern California. And you go to the front gate of the Sierra Army Depot, and you can take a left, and it will be about an hour to Reno, and you take a right, and it's about 20 minutes to this town called Susanville, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to Susanville. There's one bar, one gas station. There's a Walmart. There's a casino, and there's about 900 people in the entire town. We go into this bar. There's a 8-month pregnant bartender smoking cigarettes, drinking Bud Heavies, and she's like, "You guys look like you like fights." And I'm like, "Yeah, I like fighting." She goes, "You know Ken Shamrock?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I know Ken Shamrock."
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know him, but I know who Ken Shamrock is. She goes, he's from here, I'm like,
he is from
there. Said, "Get the hell out of here." I go, "No way." I didn't believe her. I was like, "No way." Right? She pulls out this flyer. This is like 15 years ago. She pulls out this flyer, and it said, "Hometown hero Ken Shamrock returns to whatever casino is in that town." Like no bullshit. That town has like one restaurant, one bar, one gas station, one barber shop, a bank, a Walmart, and a casino. That's all that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm actually I'm tied to Ken Shamrock because my first MMA coach was Jerry Bolander. So Jerry Bolander, he's from Lions Den. He was the UFC 12 champ, the first lightweight champ. Pretty much the last of the Lions Den crew was in Napa, and he ran the gym for like 10 or 15 years.
Crazy.
But he was my coach for like my first 10 fights until he decided to retire and become a police officer. But yeah, I met a lot of the older pioneers of the sport for sure.
Yeah, I would say. I would talk about those guys. You were with the guys that were there in '93, or
Yeah, for sure.
UFC 1.
Sure. Yeah, even one of my coaches now, Steve Barnett. He's actually my closest friends. We were roommates, but we also run SF Combat together. But I mean, me, him, Jerry Bolander, Nick Farcello, those are all guys that were in the last of the old Lions Den, which was Slam City, and then Jerry Bolander submission fighting, and then what it is now, Napa Valley MMA.
First time I ever seen Ken Shamrock fight, we were stealing that shit off of the black box and cable on like 1990.
That's right. Awesome. Yeah. Over at Graham's house.
I love going back and watching those old tapes. It's crazy just seeing all of that stuff, seeing the old fights back when it was real, Shoes, it didn't matter where you had jeans, short shorts,
one boxing glove.
Well, yes, one boxing gloves, a taxi driver that had 200 fights but couldn't fight.
For sure. I think I've got like the first 10 UFC posters, and I should have brought them. In my garage, we have them all set up. We have a little podcast studio we're trying to set up right now. We have like 20 different of like the first UFC and Pride posters.
Nice.
Crazy. Yeah, pretty awesome.
That is fucking awesome. Yeah, that's he has in his work area. Like you said, we work in the military, and we work in this big hangar, and you go over to a part where his desk is, and there's like fucking like 10 big UFC posters, like way up high across the wall. They're all over the place, and it's really funny because it you're just walking around, and it's just boxes and this, parts to like different kinds of aircraft, whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just all these fucking UFC posters and all this shit for BKFC, and people probably walk through like, what the hell is going on in this area?
Awesome. Pretty soon it'll be a time capsule of of this time. Yeah,
no, for sure. And when they walk like new recruits through, when they're like walking high school kids in that want to be like that, seniors in high school that are thinking about joining the Army, they always bring them over and they're like, "This is Master Sergeant Mish. He's in charge of the RM program here, blah blah blah." And they're like, "Do you fight?" I'm like, "No, I talk about it a lot."
We do.
That's my
like, yeah, I fight.
Yeah.
I'm not strong, but my vocabulary is.
Yeah. Listen, I'm 42 years old and broken, my friends, but I could talk about it all day. Dude,
we're all gonna be pretty soon here.
That's amazing.
What did Ismail say about me?
What's that?
So what did Ismail say about me?
Well, he didn't really talk. So
he didn't know. He didn't say anything.
He needed a translator.
Go ahead, Mike.
I see. Okay.
So he didn't really say much about you at all because he didn't say too much. It was more like we started, it was kind of translating back and forth. And then his translator, who's also the GM over at Jackson Wink, was kind of like ad-libbing to the stories so that he didn't have to say so much back and forth. So really, he didn't say too much. He's a very quiet guy. And I feel like even if he could talk English well, he probably wouldn't be a guy who said a lot.
Right. You know what he said?
Yep.
And what Misha kind of translated, it said it didn't matter who his opponent was. He basically said it didn't matter who his opponent was, or whatever. And like Misha was like, these guys from that part of the world, they don't say too much. They just fight. You know what I mean? We give them an opponent and they fight. And that's all it comes down to. Now, what you've heard about this kid, though, he's 23, Chechen kid, 200 plus amateur fights, 4-1 MMA pro,
strong wrestler.
When I asked Misha who his style and who he reminds you of the most, he quickly said, "Oh, easy, Khabib." Like,
because he's got a strong sambo wrestling background.
I'm like, okay, so he reminds you of one of the GOATs. Okay. All right. That makes it very interesting.
There's not really much on him that I could find because he's from Chechnya.
Yep.
I help manage some other shows like every couple of months I'll go down and help Sean Merriman with Lights Out promotion.
Lights Out, yeah.
So he's had a lot of Chechnyan fighters fight from recently. The last show that I went down to a couple of weeks ago, there was a Chechnyan fighter that knew Ismail. So
Oh wow.
it's pretty random. But yeah.
Oh, he knew him?
Fighters.
You said the guy knew him?
Yeah, he said that he knew him. So that was really random. But yeah. Like, I'm not really too worried because, again, he's a wrestler, more of a wrestler, and
right.
I like to box.
I could tell you this, man. I could tell you this. Last night when we had him on, nobody in our audience knew who he was. I'll confidently say that nobody in our audience knew who he was.
Yeah.
The comment section was going crazy. Like, now I want to watch this fight. Like, now I want to watch this fight. And yes, it's very intriguing. And right now in the comments, Joe Ivy says, I'm so excited for this fight. And I am sure that Joe didn't know too much about this fight until last night when we were talking to him and his manager.
Yeah.
So
now because we're both managed by Jackson Wink worldwide, and then they match us up with each other, which is even crazier. But we'll see how it goes. I hope they're not thinking that I'm a chump, because I'm definitely not. And I'm more than
they should know that you're not. Like, there's actual footage on you. Like, they should know who they're dealing with. That's what we said that to him, and I don't know if it translated too well. We said they didn't throw him a cupcake for his debut fight here. They threw him Danasabe Mohammed, who has a extensive background and has fought for Bellator and is a striker on his feet. So they didn't throw him a softball. They gave him somebody super tough. They must have confidence in both of you guys, man. I would imagine so.
Well, we're definitely going to put on a show, but I'm hoping that this will catapult me into making some good money and getting a great fan base, because I know you guys have one of the biggest platforms. You're the fastest growing. Like, the amount of followers that you guys have is insane, and your fans are diehard. And you know what? I'm trying to tap into that and become the next big thing in this weight class.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the company just keeps on growing too. I can't even. When they announced yesterday that they partnered with Forged Black Stout, the Conor
Irish
McGregor
stout.
beer, Irish Stout.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. Like,
huge. I know. I saw that today, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy!"
Getting
where you guys were in 2020 to where you are now. I mean, from
it's
doing
bananas.
shows like once every 3 months to going worldwide and having a show almost like every other weekend is insane. I don't understand how you guys are able to keep up, truthfully.
And it is what you just said is amazing, because sometimes Mike and I think that they might be going too fast when they're doing this, but adding the Prospect Series. Now, can you answer this question to us? Like, I don't think that you and Ismail, or are you guys considered in the Prospect Series, or are you guys a feature fight on this card?
I think we're a feature fight on this card. I hope so. I mean, I know that the budget for this show is a little bit lower, so I feel like I'm in the Prospect Series, but there's no possible way we are. I mean,
right, because we had Juan Adams on last week. Like, we had Juan on last week, and Juan Adams, won a contract on Dana White's Contender Series, fought 4 or 5 times in the UFC, went over to PFL, fought 3-4 times over at PFL. He's got like an impressive, legit
background, for sure.
And so maybe it's like bare knuckle prospects.
Right. And we asked him, we were like, are you on a prospect contract? Or he was like, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like that this is like the Contender Series for bare knuckle, right? So it doesn't matter where you come from, because bare knuckle is different than anything else. It's not MMA. I mean, just because you're good in one sport doesn't mean that you're going to be good in bare knuckle. It's apples to oranges. And I guess they're just trying to see what we can do, whether we have a background or not. Some guys that they'll find off the streets are better, will beat up anybody that's in there, and then you look at guys like Mike Perry, who he did great in the UFC, but he wasn't a champ. But then he came here and he's just running through everybody. They're 2 different sports, and it's like, You know, you might be able to fight in the cage, doesn't mean you're not gonna get your ass whooped in the street. Yeah.
What's funny is, and Mike and I talk about this all the time, Mike Perry catches a lot of hate from the bare knuckle fan base, which I just don't understand, because a lot of the BKFC loyalists that been there since day one, they want to see the spotlight on the homegrown talent. They want to see the spotlight which is understandable, but I don't think they're understanding what exactly Mike Perry, how valuable he is,
what he brings to the table.
He's invaluable, dude. You can't put a price tag on what he is right now for that company. The 4 people he fought, Julian Lane's one of the toughest guys out there. Doesn't have the greatest record, but he is Julian Lane. Let me bang, bro. But then it was MVP, Luke Rockhold, Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah,
insane, right? Insane. And that's
Can you put any more validity into this sport?
Yeah, there isn't more than that. And that kind of star power is hard to come by. That's like Conor McGregor, you know. And when you have something like that, you have to use it and you have to push it, right? You know, because at the end of the day, business has to make money.
Yeah, and matter of fact, Mike Perry is so mainstream right now. Mike was just telling me Sean Strickland, UFC 185-pound champ, middleweight champion in the UFC, biggest organization in the world. He did an interview where they asked him to build your perfect fighter, right? And he said ground game, Khabib, right?
Yep.
Striking, Anderson Silva. Mike skills, Mike Perry. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Mike Perry's getting talked about on that platform right now.
Demetrius Johnson chose him as male fighter of the year.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
Let's ask you about this fight. Like the little you know about this guy, you know he's a strong wrestler. You know when we talked to him last night, his management or translator, Misha, I'm not sure if he's a coach or anything like that. I can't remember if he said that, but he was talking about his grip strength and like his grappling skills. Does any of that bother you at all, being the fighter that you are and having the stand-up skill that you have and the striking that you have? Are you too worried about that, or like what can we expect in this fight?
I'm not too worried about the wrestling aspect of it, because again, it's boxing. I know the rules are a little bit different, that there is a tie-up that you can do and you can fight from the tie-up, but they will break it after three seconds if there's not any action, right? So at the end of the day, the wrestling skill is not going to play too much into it. I mean, he should be good with angling and pivoting. His boxing should be okay, because if you're good at wrestling and taking those angles and you know how to throw your hands, it kind of translates into boxing. But they're two different things and two different energy systems, you know. So if you're really strong and you're really conditioned for wrestling, does not mean that you're strong and conditioned for boxing. And the speed, the timing is totally different, you know. If you're not sparring with pro boxers a little bit to understand the difference in the timing and the speed, then you're going to have a really hard time. But I've been doing both. I've been, you know, getting some MMA guys and then getting some pro boxers back and forth, because the styles are a little bit different. There's a lot more pushing, a lot more grabbing when it comes to boxing a wrestler or an MMA guy.
Yeah, the timing, like you said, it definitely is different. And in the past, we've had people mention how fighters make mistakes by warming up in the back before the fight with gloves on. How that's a huge mistake, because people think like, oh, that's nothing. Yeah, it might be just like a little fraction or like an inch or something like that. But that inch is everything in the fight. Right. So that's something that, as we move along in this sport and bare knuckle grows, people are starting to figure out there, because you ask a lot of people, or a casual, I hate using that word, but when you ask people who might not know a lot about bare knuckle, haven't really paid attention, they think, oh, that's just boxing without gloves. And that's literally what it is. And it's like, well, it's pretty different. People are starting to find out. Yes, dude, you can't just wing punches.
You can't just parry punches. You can't try to block with your gloves, because your gloves are your hands, which will break and bruise. You take a couple shots to your forearms go dead, then you have no grip strength, and your knockout power is from your grip strength, right? So that's all different stuff that people don't really understand or know about.
Yeah.
So you just talked about forearms, and I wanted to bring up something real quick, because there's pioneers in this sport, right? And there's guys like Lorenzo, who we talked about before, who is kind of like revolutionizing the sport.
Mhm.
If anybody wants to learn how to fight bare knuckle, he's got all the techniques down. Last time I talked to Lorenzo, it was, I don't know, maybe it was Salt Lake City. He might have been out there, but he's like talking to me. He's like, Mish, feel this right here. And I feel his forearm. And I like tap on it and I like knock on it. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I was in Denver.
Dude, it was like
Yeah.
it was like knocking on his forearm. I was like, holy shit. He goes, dude, I break people's hands with my forearms. He's like people he's like, I'm changing this game. I break people's hands with these forearms. And I believe it, man. And then there's guys like Mike Perry that say, I'm gonna break your hands with my face, and then I'm gonna break your face with my hands.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah,
it's
definitely grip strength. I think they did a study on boxers, the highest percentage knockout rate in boxers, which I think comes from like Mexican boxers, and then they studied them against European boxers, and then after doing like punch tests and whatever, at the end of the study, they realized that the majority of the power comes from their forearms and how tight their fists are. So the person who's doing, more forearm exercises and has a stronger or able to clench their fist harder is the one that's probably going to knock the person out. So that's really important. Yeah, it's super crazy.
It is wild. And the knockout that Lorenzo did back at Knucklemania 3 was like one of the craziest knockouts we've ever seen. I know you've been watching and you've been checking it out, but hey, we're going to ask you some questions outside of the world of fighting real quick before we don't want to keep you all night, and we appreciate your time. And we're excited to see you fight January 27th. But we got to ask you a few questions just so people know your personality. Here you go. What is a meal that you could eat every single day for a year and not get sick of?
Maybe every single day would be Vietnamese. I go to this pho place down the street. It's in American Canyon. It's called Hong Viet. My favorite place. It's owned by a family that lives near here, and I literally go there like every single day, get the same thing, and I know they know me by name. So yeah. So
you actually do what this question was asking.
Every day.
Every single day. It's the same damn
spring rolls. It's got a little bit of carb, mostly veggies. I get the pho without any noodles, and that's it.
I love it, man. Oh man, I'm into that kind of
food. He's already doing it.
There you go.
All right. Your number one must-do thing in Napa, California.
Number one must-do thing in Napa, California. If you've never been to Napa, then that means you have to go wine tasting and go to Yountville and try out some of the restaurants there. I used to work at Bottega, which is an Italian restaurant there. It was amazing. It's right across the street from Bouchon. If you know any of those places over there, it's the food mecca of California, or really
So it's not just wine country; it's the food mecca as well.
It is, yeah, because it's got Thomas Keller. Thomas Keller's got his whole restaurant group, which is like the French Laundry, Bouchon Bakery. All of those places are really well known, Michelin star.
Wow. All right, I think you already answered this next question, but your go-to activity outside of mixed martial arts?
My go-to activity it's painting, and that's it. Hanging out with my son. We do a lot of stuff, and that's really it.
I was reading a thing about you, and it said that you went to college for accounting, right? But you also designed labels for wineries. Did you do graphic design too?
Yeah. So I did. My friends they own the Ghost of Autumn wines. I did a couple pictures for them, painted a couple of labels for them. Someone was a firefighter, and then one was a proves the likeliness of my son. Awesome wines. They're all, from the area, Napa. One's a Pinot from Carneros. The other one is a Malbec from Chalk Hill. And then I did another painting, which turned into a label for my buddy Mark Bright. He's a part owner of Saison and Angler, which are like Michelin star restaurants in San Francisco. But he has his own wine label, Partage, and I did something for him. He's super, super cool guy. Those wines come from Santa Cruz, and a lot of good stuff.
Are those bottles sold in stores?
They are sold in stores.
So we can walk into a store
I got one right here. So this is one of the labels that I did.
There's light. Yeah, the light is hitting it. I can see it when you turn it like that. Yeah.
Kid with a
There's
balloon.
like light going down the middle. Yep. Kid
And
with a
then
balloon. Yep.
Another one's like a firefighter. It's on a Pinot, but we did it for the glass fire. So every time that there's a like a natural disaster, they ask me to do like a different label for them. Wow. So the firefighter one was for the glass fires that happened here. A lot of people lost their homes, and yeah. So a portion of the money that they made for it went to helping people.
Cool.
Who, less fortunate.
That is super cool, man. Awesome. And our last question for you.
What legendary UFC fighter went to college for a degree in accounting?
No idea.
So let's try to do a little guess here. It's somebody who's definitely popular. It's a popular fighter, not somebody. It's somebody who's retired from fighting.
Bona fide legend.
Retired from fighting.
Definitely a legend, though.
Oh, a legend.
Maybe even a Mount Rushmore type fighter, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping.
No. Before him.
Before him?
Yeah.
I have no idea. No clue. You're going to have to tell me that. Chuck Liddell? No way. From the pit? That's crazy.
So check this out. Check this out, man. Me and my cousin Mike are in the Mohegan Sun Casino, and we're at this place called Lucky's Lounge. This is years ago. This is probably 2020 and probably 2006-07 time, years ago. We're sitting at the bar, and our friend Courtney is a bartender, and the bar goes all the way around in this place, a big bar, and across the bar there's this big dude with a fucking mohawk sitting there, and he's like kind of like sitting over like this, drinking a beer. And I go, Courtney, I'm like, is that Chuck Liddell? She goes, I don't know. He seems like he's somebody. And I'm like, and then he like looks up, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the fucking Iceman. I was like, Mike, we should go. I mean, my cousin Mike. I'm like, Mike, we should go talk to him. Let's go offer to buy him a shot or something. We go over there. We say hello to him. Like, literally, there's 7 people in the bar. There's us 2, him, and like a couple other people. So we weren't like being a complete douchebag about it. We're like, hey, can we buy you a drink? I mean, we've been fans of yours. So we get him a drink. We sat there for 2 hours, like ripping beers and shots with Chuck Liddell. And Chuck's like, so what do you do? To my cousin Mike. He's like, yeah, I'm an accountant. He's like, I went to college for accounting. You should fight. Mike was like, yeah, I don't think that's how it works, dude. I don't think
like, nah, yeah. And all my coworkers are like, you're crazy. Like, you're in that job. I work for this as an accountant for this architecture firm in San Francisco, and they all think that I'm fucking crazy for sure. But that's Chuck Liddell, man, he's a legend.
Yeah.
I fought one of his guys like my 3rd amateur fight. Yeah, in Watsonville. Choked him out. It was great.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you go like look it up. I swear to God, this is true. He went to school for like business management and accounting or something like that.
I believe
it blew my mind. Like the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. Are you kidding me? Anyways, hey man, thank you so much for coming on here. We're excited. January 27th is the best Prospect Series card that they put out so far. The top of the card with Donald Sanchez and Noah Cutter is great. The co-main and then the feature fights are fantastic. Any final words you want to say to anybody that's going to be paying attention on January 27th?
If you don't know me and you're just watching right now, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Papa Midnight 170. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up, direct message me. I'll get back to you on there for sure.
There it is. Mike, got anything else?
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I cannot wait to see this fight. We won't be there live, but I'll tell you what, we will definitely be watching. And everybody, like I'm pointing the wrong way. The comments are over here. Everybody watching yesterday and today, they're all excited now because like we were saying earlier, a lot of people haven't seen you guys fighting in BKFC. So all these BKFC diehards now know who you are. Now they can see you fight with the gloves off. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right. Have a great night, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Later. Hey, Danasabe.
Yes.
I fucked it up, man. Just Danasabe. Anyways, awesome guy. Two great fucking. This is like two. Like we're taking them for their word on Ismail, but
Yes.
Two talents here. This is two very talented fighters. This is no slouches. And this is the fourth fight down on the card. So you're going to see these two guys battle it out in the squared circle. And then you also get to see Dakota High Pine and Eric Dodson, Jenny Savage and Taylor, and Noah Cutter and Donald Sanchez after them. So what a damn card they have put together here. I'm excited about that one, dude.
Yeah. This whole card, like, so the thing is that, of course, the type of fans we are of this sport, I'm excited for everything. But I got to tell you, like, this card, when I think, and this is not a shot at people who haven't fought in the BKFC or that I don't know, it doesn't mean anything bad at all. It's just that it's not like I was totally excited for the Prospect Series last time. Like, I'm just happy there's a bare knuckle card happening, right? But I don't know a lot of the fighters. And now that they've kind of mixed it up and you get some named fighters, and then we have some fighters we don't know about that we've invited onto the show, and we've gotten to know them more. Now I'm super excited for this card because we've talked to people from almost every single one of these matchups, and it's really intriguing to me. I cannot wait to see these fights. This is the first time I've been like when fights are coming out, I'm pretty goddamn excited. But when I know the people on the card, it's like you're up here because you get invested in their story. Now I'm invested, you know. I know this person has a family, you know, he likes painting, he fought for Bellator, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of get invested in that. But then on the other side, you don't want to root against the other guy, right? Because the other guy, he come from, you know, Chechnya, and there was nothing around, and the weather's horrible, and he's, you know, doesn't do anything but train, and he's come to make a better life, and he pays for his family. So it's like, man, these guys, they both got something to prove. They need to get in there. They're going to throw fucking bare fists at each other's faces, and it's going to be wild. And you don't know, because one guy's a wrestler, and we've never seen him ever fight, and the other guy we've seen fight. So we're like, anyone with a fighting mind would think that who we just talked to would probably win if you heard both of those stories, right? But then the fact that you talked to them yesterday and they tell you all these things about Ismail, and you're like, it's almost like you start getting talked into, like, holy shit, what is going to happen here? How is that going to trade? Is he going to be super powerful? You know, so hey, I just can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see these fights. The Savage Starling fight, cannot wait for. That is absolutely top of my list. I cannot wait to see that fight. Little rematch.
What happens with the Taylor Starling and Jenny Savage outcomes, Mike? I want to ask you this question because if Jenny wins, here's the thing.
She's where she's saying she has been for the last year.
Right. Nothing changes for her.
Yeah,
right?
She needs somebody with experience to come.
I'm afraid
because she's in the middle of.
Taylor wins, like, dude. So Taylor wins. It adds more intrigue to the 115 pound division, and she could fight the winner of Britain and Poe. You know what I mean? It adds a new wrinkle. But if Jenny wins, I wonder what they do with her. Andy Wynn would be a fun fight. I do like that. She said that Andy Wynn had something to say about her. I don't remember it. I don't remember any of that. Teresa Segala would be fun as well. But
Gabrielle Roman.
Yeah, Gabrielle Roman would be a good one. That is a good one. She's fighting at 125 coming up.
She is.
We're waiting on Karla
far
Alvarez.
away from. They're like a week away from each other. So if they both fight, they both happen to win, then they have a good timeline to fight, you know?
Can I tell you a quick story? It has nothing to do with fighting. So check this out. You know how like weird shit happens all the time? Like we're talking about something at work and then something happens in the like after you get
like wrestling being on at my fucking barbershop.
So today at work, right? Bored as hell and I'm on my phone and I see one of those like rankings things. And it says the top 25 TV episodes of all time, right? Episodes, any TV show. And I start looking at it and it has like Game of Thrones on there. It has Breaking Bad has an episode on there. It's got a bunch of shows that I don't really ever watch. West Wing was like on it. Number 19 on that list was a Bluey episode, Mike, called Sleepy Time, right?
Yeah.
So I text Amy and I said, Sleepy Time, Bluey episode, right? So anyways, Amy's at home with Nolan. They watch the episode, right? So they watch the episode. Flash forward about 2 hours. We're at my son's concert at his school, and my son plays in the band, and they're playing this like orchestra song, something about Jupiter. And Nolan's sitting next to me. He goes, "Oh, that song was on Bluey." And I'm like, "What?" I go, "No way." He goes, "Yeah, I swear I heard that song on Bluey." We get in the car driving home. Amy searches the song name and Bluey. It was in the episode Sleepy Time.
Yeah.
That they just watched, and Nolan caught that song enough on the school band to recognize that it was in the episode that they watched earlier that day that I told them about on that top 20. Isn't that fucking crazy?
It is crazy, and shit like that happens all the time. And I think it's a whole, like you were saying, the phones, everybody's listening. Shut your phones off. The world's listening, it's lining things up.
but that wouldn't make sense because these kids, but the band's been practicing this song for 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, it just so happens that one of the 3 songs that they played
AI
was
in
in
the world.
It's fucking wild. It blew my goddamn mind, man. It's crazy.
Hey, quick shout out to Sharks Adams. Hey, listen, we're in the zone, brother. Welcome back. Haven't seen you for a long time. We appreciate you being here and watching the show with all of us. Welcome back. But yeah, we just in the zone. We didn't see you, man. I don't even look at the comments half the time. I'm in here looking around at other stuff. You know, I'm like the, you know what I'm doing this whole time? As we're talking, I've got 700 tabs open on my computer right now. If we're talking about something, I'm typing it in, and if I need to bring it up, it's coming up. That's what I do. You know, that's what I'm doing. I can't even read the comics half the time. But welcome back, brother.
Our last guest of the evening is here.
Yeah,
she's here, Mike.
She was doing abs and shoulders.
Was she really?
That's what Kevin said. He's right here. She's doing abs and shoulders. Jackson went worldwide. See, but she is here. We are ready to talk. Hopefully she's ready to hang out for a little bit and chit chat about her upcoming bare knuckle fight. Cannot wait.
Here she is. Karla Alvarez. What's up? Hey. Can you hear us?
Hello? Karla? I don't.
Can you hear us?
You're muted. Do you have a mic?
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
There we go.
Hey, welcome.
What
Karla.
is up?
How are you?
Thank you.
Are you in the Jackson Wink establishment right now? Are you staying in the dorms in there, or?
No, I don't live there. I train here.
Okay.
You train. Well, hey, welcome to the show. That's Mike. I'm Mish. And we're excited to talk to you. We've been hyping up this this January 27th BKFC card. The Prospect Series card is fantastic. We've talked to a bunch of people on the card, and we're excited to talk to you. We don't know anything about you except for the fact that you're managed by Jackson Wink worldwide, and we wanted to get you on here and talk to you about your fight with Brittany Horton. So let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your fighting style, and let everybody know what they should expect when you step in there.
Forward fighter, brawler. Yeah.
Where are you from? So where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Mexico, Juarez.
Oh, okay. Wow, in Juarez.
Yeah.
That's a tough neighborhood in Juarez.
Yeah, I was very lucky to move out of there. I moved when I was 14, about 14, and that's when everything started to get crazy. It used to be nice. People love to go on vacation over there and have fun, try the food. It was nice. It used to be nice.
I believe it. I know a lot of things get ruined with obviously cartels and stuff like that. There's a lot of violence, and that's the reason why I know, because I read a lot of books and I read a lot of books about the cartels and stuff like that. And as soon as you said Juarez, I was like, oh shit, because like I know I've done a ton of research on Juarez. So yeah, I know it's a tough life, but like you said, it's beautiful. It's just like Afghanistan. People think that when they think about Afghanistan, they think war, but Afghanistan used to be very beautiful. A lot of people used to go there. It was not like it is now. So yeah, but awesome. So you lived in Mexico and then you came to the United States when?
When I was 14.
Yeah. And you moved here with your family?
With my parents, my sister.
And did you move to Albuquerque? Is that the area that you guys moved to?
Yeah.
Nice. So you've been there since you were 14.
Yeah.
So have you been fighting since you were 14? Like, did you get into mixed martial arts or boxing or wrestling? What would you do?
I started training like at 20 years old at a like a community center kickboxing just to get in shape. And I met my first coach there, Paul Correa.
It's funny how many people we've talked to that like you're not the only one that like started going to like cardio kickboxing and realized that they actually liked the action, so they ended up getting into fighting. You're not alone in this, Karla.
Yeah. And one day they said, do you want to fight in Colorado next week? And I was just in shape, but I never like really sparred or anything. And I said, yeah, I'll take it. Let's go.
How long ago was that?
2017. No, 2015, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think I watched a fight earlier with you, and it was in 2016.
Yeah,
And well, I don't know if it's the same fight you're talking about, but I remember you fought, and in the beginning, you were stand-up fighting. You were kind of getting the brunt of it, and you come out in the second round, right? And you guys are just going crazy. All of a sudden, she tries to take you down, and you like reverse the takedown, kind of. You end up on top. And then this chick had nothing for you after that. It was like she was doing pretty good in the beginning. And all of a sudden you reverse that takedown. And it's like she said, up, don't like this. And you were just smashing her face in. And she could not get out of your mount at all. And then it was over. And I was like, holy shit. Like, you fucking came right back from that, huh?
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a real good one. What was that girl's name? They spelled the name wrong.
I think Amanda something. I fought like 3 Amandas.
Yeah. Yeah. You did fight some Amandas. It was Winnick. That was her last name. Winnick. That was a pretty good fight. You guys watching, go and look that fight up because it was like it's like first round, not doing too good. It's not like you were getting your ass kicked, like handed to you, but you definitely lost that first round. But the second round, like that was it. When she tried to take you down, big mistake.
Yeah.
So when did you transition from like from a community center cardio trying to stay in shape to like an actual fight gym and like decide, you know what, this is something that I might want to do with myself here? When did you make that decision?
When I met my husband, Cody East, he trains there, and I moved there with him.
Cody East.
What year? I don't know. 2017, I guess.
Shit. All right. And Albuquerque is, like we've said this many times, one of the best fight towns in the entire country.
They know their
so you're not just training and you're not just married to a guy that's fighting. You're surrounded by people that are fighting. So tell us about your experience living in Albuquerque so far. And, you've been there longer than you were in Juarez, right? So now you've been in Albuquerque for probably 20 plus years, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Tell us about your time in Albuquerque. You love it down there?
Yeah, I don't think I would move. I would not move back to Mexico.
Well, I wasn't asking you if you were going to move back to Mexico.
No.
Well, I was just saying, like, I loved it there. Like Mike and I went down there. We've been there a couple times. We've had nothing but a blast. Every time we go to Albuquerque, it seems like everybody in that town is down for some fight talk or fighting, or they all train. So you can go to any bar, any restaurant, and have a conversation with somebody about this sport, MMA, and have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like many times because like so basically we travel with BKFC often and cover the events. We won't be at the card that you're on, but we do go to a lot of them. And like Kyle's saying, you know, you go to some of these towns and you go around, we go like bar to bar and we tell people like, hey, you're going to go watch the bare knuckle fights, you know, about BKFC. And we try to explain to people. And so a lot of people are like, oh, we don't know. You got Albuquerque. Everybody knows about it. It's the craziest thing ever. If you went in my town and you start talking about fighting, I bet you like 1% of people in my town watch fighting. That's why I don't hang out around here because everyone's boring and they don't like fighting. But Albuquerque, that's where the fun's at. You go to Albuquerque, everybody knows. We went to the Hooters to put out some flyers and stuff, and boom, there's a girl that works there that's a waitress, and she's like a well-known MMA fighter. I'm like, wait, what? The Hooters waitress is
Lydia Warren. Lydia Warren.
Yeah. So definitely a huge fight town. You don't have to explain anything to anyone. Everybody knows a fighter, fights, or someone in their family fights, or they're going to the fights. It's amazing. I think I'm in love with Albuquerque. I've got to admit it right here on the show.
Nice.
So, by the way, let's bring it back to Cody East because I heard that name. Heard that name, very familiar to me. I know Kyle. I could tell Kyle was like Cody East, you know, because something
fought in the UFC.
Fought in the UFC.
Big,
correct.
Big guy, right? Your husband's not a little guy, right? He's about. But he
lost. He went to light heavyweight now.
Yeah, he 205er.
But he's still pretty big.
Yeah, he's a big dude. And so when did you meet Cody? And is he the reason why you pursued, like, is he the reason why you're a professional fighter right
now? He was a big part of it, I think.
Yeah? Where did you guys meet?
At that community center, at the gym.
Oh, nice.
Is he gonna be cornering you for this fight?
Yeah, he's my corner.
So tell us about the dynamic of having your husband in your corner. Does it get ugly sometimes? Do you guys go at it a little bit in the corner every once in a while?
At first, yeah, I used to. It's real good now.
Yeah,
surprisingly, we evolved.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was even at the gym when it was not even a real fight. The cornering wouldn't go that good for us, but we evolved and we work as a team now, and it's really good now.
I can imagine because, like, okay, here I am, Mike Hunnell, the stranger, the guy who doesn't know anybody who's fighting on TV, yet I'm jumping up and down, I'm screaming, I'm sweating, my heart's pumping. I don't know any of the people in the friggin' fight. I'm watching a UFC event that I paid for. Full price, you know, I'm not in the stands. I don't know anybody. I'm not cornering anyone. Somehow I'm about to pass out while I'm watching the fight. So I cannot imagine watching my girlfriend or fiance or wife fighting. I feel like I'd be more worried for that fight than if I was fighting myself, you know, like, so I just that dynamic between like a fighter and their significant other cornering, like that's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I think his experience helps me a lot because maybe if he wasn't a fighter, he'll be more nervous. Yeah, he told me he gets nervous more than when he fights himself.
Yeah, I believe it.
But yeah, we have evolved a lot, so
what are Cody's thoughts on bare knuckle fighting?
He thinks it's exciting. He likes it. I like it too. It looks exciting, different.
Is he like excited about the fact that you're doing? I mean, like, I don't know. It just to me, like I feel like he would probably do well in it. Is he interested? Like you're doing it, so maybe he'll take a run over there. What do you think?
He's very interested. He will be happy. We thought he was going to be on this card with me too.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's good news
Yeah.
because heavyweights, they need some more heavyweights was a big division for a while. And not that it's not now, it's starting to build a little bit back up, but I do feel like they can use some names and really fill up that heavyweight division. And I know you said he went down in weight, but maybe he doesn't have to, right? Maybe he doesn't have to. I feel like it's more comfortable when you don't have to lose weight.
Oh yeah, he's a lot better, a lot stronger and faster, I believe.
Yeah.
He can get in there with light heavyweight and heavyweight, no problem.
Actually, that 205 division isn't too stacked either. Like it's light. It's light. There's not a lot of people there too. So I feel like it would be perfect for him to come in and fight. But
so let's talk about your fight with Brittany Horton for a second. Do you know Brittany Horton? Are you familiar with her at all?
I seen her once at the bare knuckle tryouts here in Albuquerque, but I don't know her.
Okay, and strawweight is your division in MMA, right?
Right.
You fight strawweight, so strawweight here will be your home if you stick around. We were just talking to Jenny Savage, and Jenny was telling us about this. Like, she's stuck in this weird position because she fought the champion twice, right? And she beat everyone else. Her other 3 fights, she's 3-2. And she's in this position because the talent pool is sort of shallow. There's only like 6 or 8 girls to choose from in that 115-pound division. So they need new fighters like yourself and Brittany Horton to come in there and make a little noise and maybe make a splash. Are you looking to, make a run in the BKFC, maybe get a long-term contract and do this for a while?
So far, I have a 3-fight contract, and
okay.
After that, we'll see about re-signing. I don't know.
Yeah, they do frequent Albuquerque. So like we talked about Albuquerque before being a fight center. The UFC, I mean the BKFC, you know that they've been there, I think 2 or 3 times now, and this would be the 4th. So I have a feeling that Albuquerque will be a spot maybe twice a year, maybe even 2 or 3 times a year if they keep on going at the rate that they're going. So you could stay busy down there.
Oh, we just lost her. She's gone. She said, "You know what, Kyle? Enough is enough. You're just asking too many things."
I don't think
so. Anyways, what? No, you didn't think so? Oh, that's exactly what I thought, and that's why I thought you got off.
What I was saying though, like
100% right.
I do think that, and they were there twice last year, so it could be a pretty normal thing for them to go to Albuquerque 2 or 3 times a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Great spot.
Yes.
She seemed a little nervous, Mike.
No, not at all. So she's fighting Horton, and Horton, I believe, dates Derek Perez, engaged to Derek Perez. I think something like that. I don't know if they're engaged, dating, but I've seen pictures of them together. So there's a little they're fighters dating fighters. I guess that's the thing when you're in the gym all the time. That's the people that you're around, right?
All right. Well, I
Let's
did not
bring her
know
back
that.
and do the speed round. Let's get her into
Let's
the speed
do that.
round. Oh, hey.
Hi, Brittany. I mean, hi, Karla. We were just talking about your opponent, Brittany Horton. How are you? You
Sorry.
good?
Oh, you're good.
Lost connection.
Yeah, that's
it's okay.
Happens all the time.
It's
totally
all right.
normal
That's
stuff.
what happens when we're live. So let's do this. Let's get people to know a little bit about your personality a little bit. We're going to give you 4 questions, personality questions, and then we'll let you go. We're going to have you tell us how the fight's going to end, and then we'll let you go. But before you do that, do you watch any TV? What's the best TV series of all time in your eyes? What's your favorite?
No, I'm sorry. I don't watch TV.
Zero
cool.
TV.
No TV is the best series. Life.
You got to watch the news every once in a while.
I always want to watch like cartoon movies. I'll watch cartoon movies, but I don't watch TV.
What's your favorite kids cartoon movie that's out? What do you like?
What do you watch for your kids?
I like Shrek.
Shrek? Shrek was
It's
a
because
classic.
it's got a lot of
classic.
adult humor. It's got a lot
It
of
does.
adult humor and innuendos. I could deal with that too.
I
Number
just
two.
saw Migration, the movie. It's in the movie theater right now with the birds. It is pretty funny. I actually I enjoyed it. It was a good one. So if you're looking to go and see a movie or something, or when it comes out, that's a good one. That's funny. All right. What is the dumbest way you've gotten hurt? I've got a really dumb way I've gotten hurt, and I can tell you about it. What do you got?
I think for a Christmas night, my son said, "There's a wild cat in the RV. Let's go get it. We can keep it.
No way.
It's cute." So we had just got a cat like the weekend before that, and I went to pet it. It looked mad. It looked pissed, and I said, "No, I can just tame it. Let me just pet it." And I went to pet it, and it bit me.
Oh no!
It
Oh
bit
no!
me. My hand was bleeding instantly, and the next day, I remember everything was closed. The hospitals were empty. It was kind of like
Oh, because it was Christmas?
yeah, like the day. I think it was the day. I think it was Christmas or New Year's. And the next day was everything was closed, but my hand was swollen. The next day, my hand was like
oh my god!
Yeah, I think that's the dumbest.
Did you think you had rabies or something? Like, oh my god, I have rabies.
I had to get a Tdap shot and take antibiotics for like 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
What happened with the cat?
Yeah,
Is it still in your RV right now?
No,
they just don't touch it. And just try. Don't go near that cat.
Let it go. We let it go. It was cute, but
yeah,
it was a wild
you didn't
cat.
set the RV on fire?
Yeah, the whole thing. Just right off a cliff. See you later, RV. We don't need to go back in there.
I think that was the dumbest thing I ever done. Try to pet it.
You want to know what I did? And this is so funny because it's dumb. I mean, we were talking about cartoons. This may not be the dumbest way I've ever gotten hurt, but when it happened, I was like, wow, that is ridiculous that just happened. I was doing yard work and I was walking and I stepped on a rake and the thing came up and hit me right in the face. I swear to God, it happened to me just like a cartoon, like you would see in a cartoon. I stepped on it and went, oh, boom, hit me right in the face. And I was like, oh my God, I just did that. And I started laughing, like looking around to see if like anybody saw it. But clearly I was in my yard, so nobody saw it. And I was like, holy shit, I feel like such an idiot that just happened because I've seen it happen like a million times in cartoons. And it was like perfect.
Mike, do you remember how I broke my nose like 3 years ago? I was rolling, you know, those like Wave Master, like fucking kick bags that are like they got the weighted bottom and you can like roll them through the gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You can make them higher and lower and they got the big black bottom.
No, the one we have in our gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling one of those out of my house because I was giving it to one of my buddies and I got stuck and I'm like rocking it back and forth in my garage and my hands slipped and it shot back and hit me in the bridge of the nose and broke my fucking nose right across the top. Felt like such a dickhead. I walked in the house and I'm like bleeding and I'm in the sink washing my face and my son, who was like 6 at the time, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I broke my nose." And he's like, "Why aren't you crying?" I was like, "Because we're a fucking adult. Adults don't cry for shit like this, kid. You're going to learn that one day." That was probably the dumbest thing I ever did.
Nice. Very nice.
Number 3, what is something that nobody agrees with you on, Karla? Nobody agrees with you on it. What's something?
I don't know.
You're going nothing.
I don't know.
You don't think the world is flat or something like that, you know? Hey,
no.
The world is flat. No, it's not. You know, like I go, let's see. It's too cold and like I like it to be hot. Oh, I'm hot. I'm not hot. Like everyone disagrees. It's too hot in here. No, I don't think it's too hot in here. You know, those are things that could be disagreeable, I guess.
All right. Well, last question for you, Karla.
If you could meet anyone in the world, who would it be?
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's fine.
It's got to be somebody, right?
There's got to be someone.
Like
Cody
a fighter
West?
or like just anybody?
Anyone ever, anywhere. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even need to be someone we know. It could just be someone that you want to meet, somebody that you look up to, somebody that you just like, man, I would love to hang out with that person.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Probably there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Bobby Chandler. He's a pastor. And
Oh, okay.
yeah. Probably go visit his church. Yeah, with my kids and my husband or family.
Awesome. You know who I'd want to meet? Mr. Beast. That's
Mr. Beast.
My kids watch Mr. Beast on YouTube, and that dude's always giving money away to people.
Yeah, he
He's
can
like,
give you
hey,
money.
he's like, do you follow me on YouTube? And the person says yes. He's like, cool. Here's $10,000. That's what I wanted. Anyways, Karla, you got an exciting fight coming up against Brittany Horton. What should we expect between you and her? Can you give us any kind of insight?
I'm going to win.
Fair
and
enough.
Everything else, I don't know. It's going to be exciting.
Awesome.
I'm gonna win. Period. Done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anybody?
No
Would you
need
like
for
to
us to
shout
do-
anybody out or say any last words before I let you go?
Thank you to all my coaches. Thank you to Mike Winklejohn for helping me this camp. Bart Lujan, Edward, Cody East, Pepe Sanchez, all the people supporting me. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, woman of few words, we are excited to see you fight. You can talk with your hands on January 27th when you fight Brittany Horton on that BKFC Prospect Series in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Best of luck to you. Thank you for coming on the show. Mike, do you have anything else for Karla?
Nah, I'm good. Take care. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming back on after you fell off. Maybe you could have just been like, yeah, whatever. I'll just tell them I couldn't get back on. But thank you for coming back and talking to us. And hope you have a great fight. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Later. Right, have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Karla's not much of a talker, Mike, but it's okay. Not everybody is. Not everybody's from Cranston, Rhode Island.
And now, hey, yeah, no one's got quite a. Not everybody got a yappa like Mike Hunnell from Cranston, Rhode Island, do they? Right? Just sit here all day. That's all day for me.
Oh man, no, hey, like Sharks Adam says right there, respect to any man or woman that enters the cage or the ring. Nah, it's gonna be a good, like we said. I can't wait to, she trains with Mike Winklejohn and Cody East and those guys, so she's got to have skill for sure. Like they wouldn't sign her to a 3-fight contract if she didn't. So I'm excited. She is fighting on the best BKFC Prospect Series card that they've ever put together. So we'll see how that one plays out. And like you said, I didn't know. There was a little intrigue to that. I wonder if Derek Perez will be in.
Yeah, he'll be
in Brittany's corner.
Yeah, if there's, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Cool. I know the whole thing scenario that's going on here.
I wonder if they'll be there.
Each other. So yeah, that's keeping it in house, right? That's the way it is. Listen,
in-house.
I can just imagine you're in the goddamn gym every single day with the same people over and over and over. Did you see that video where it's like all the who was it? All the MMA fighter females, and they made the video, and it's like, I'm a female MMA fighter. Of course I date my coach,
Yeah.
There you go.
What's her name? Alima Lay McFarland's like, I'm a UFC fighter. Of course I fuck 2, maybe 3 guys on the roster.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And then Jessica Penney's like, I'm an MMA fighter. Of course I have an OnlyFans page.
Exactly.
It's a funny ass video, man. It's great. Yeah, it's gonna be a good event here. And hold on, I got something.
What do you got?
I got something, Mike. We have 2 shows next week.
Yeah.
And
correct.
To confirm
2
hold up.
Good shows next week. What are we holding on? We're on a live show, Kyle. Do you
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
realize?
No,
What are
no,
you
no,
doing?
no, no, no. So we're gonna be talking. Tell them who we're talking to Wednesday. No,
I'm
no. Tell them
confused about what you're
we're
doing
talking.
here.
Wednesday is scheduled. So we have who do we
Luis
have coming?
Palomino,
Yep,
Stephen Townsell, and
and
Taylor Starling.
Starling.
Next Wednesday.
Thursday we have
Austin Trout and Brian Duran.
and Mark Hunt.
Oh, and Mark Hunt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Hold on, let me get it.
We're gonna yeah. So I just got I got a little message here that says after Brian Duran on Thursday night next week, we're gonna talk to Mark Hunt about all the buzz that's going around, all the
Cool.
buzz, all the fucking buzz, because everybody wants to talk about Mark Hunt and Mick Terrell and Mark Hunt and knocking motherfuckers out with no gloves on and shit.
Yeah. hell
So
yeah.
why not jump on this train and
Another heavyweight.
we're gonna ask him all kinds of shit, dude. Mark's a fucking awesome dude. He's got a lot of personality and he's been through a lot of things. So next week, we're looking at two
This is
triple
gonna be awesome.
back-to-back triple headers. Like Mike said, we got fucking Luis Palomino, we got Steve Townsell and Taylor Starling on Wednesday. Then Austin Trout, Brian Duran, and Mark Hunt on Thursday.
Woo!
Are you fucking kidding me, guy?
Oh, what?
Shit. And then Friday next week, we get to watch fights.
That's right.
Oh my God.
I know.
Mike, this is too much for me. This is too much.
I don't have time for my family, that's for sure. They're gonna have to do something else with themselves.
This is
No time for the family.
This
Fight
is
talk
way,
and fighting
way,
is
way,
happening
way too
all the
much for me. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much to fucking Danasabe
You saying it?
Danasabe
Pretty
Mohammed.
close. I think you did good.
Thank you to him for coming on. Thank you to
Jenny Savage.
Jenny Savage and Karla Alvarez for jumping on at the end there. It's awesome.
What's funny is like in my mind as we were talking to Karla and she was like slightly late here and then we started talking to her, I was like, she was probably like hoping we weren't going to follow up. She's sitting there, she's like, man, I don't want to go on that freaking podcast. I don't want to go. Maybe they won't call me. Yeah, maybe they won't call me up. Maybe they won't. But I'm so glad she came on. That was cool.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. So hey, thank you guys for all tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. And yeah, tune into the UFC event this weekend. We don't have no bare knuckle fights to watch, but you might as well watch Sean Strickland fight Dracus du Plessis, huh? What do you think about that one?
I see. That is beautiful. I cannot wait to see that. And I was a little bit more excited for the fight when they hated each other more, but
instead of when they were hugging and touching wiener heads together, it's fucking
what's going on? You know, they're meeting up. He's all like got a big old coat on and a hat to be secretive, and then meets up. And it was very weird. Like he stood up. He was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And there's like, "All right, see you later." It was like 1 second. I was like, "You guys already know each other. Why'd you even do that? What was that about? I don't understand." Wasn't that weird?
Yeah, I got to tell you, it was weird. But Sean Strickland is growing on me. I used to be like kind of like turned off by his whole shtick because I thought it was a shtick. But I don't think it's a shtick at all, dude. I don't think he's putting on an act. I don't think he's putting on some fucking Kobe Covington type act.
That's how he is all the time.
I think he is that guy. And now that I know that he's that guy and he's not just putting on an act, he's growing on me a little bit. He's crazy, a little out there, but he's also a championship level fighter. And I wonder if he makes it through Dracus du Plessis this weekend and where they go from there. Because maybe an Izzy rematch would be in the works, and I like to see that one. So, anyways,
I would love to just see him keep the "I'm gonna kill you" heat going all the way through to the fight. You know, because it kind of like I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna do this, and then the next day he's like meeting up with them in a hallway. It kind of like took a little bit off of the it took the edge off the top. You know. So they like each other.
He did tell him in his DM or something. I think he DM'd
he's gonna murder him, and then he met up with him.
He said, if you talk about my family, I'll stab you.
Yeah, but he can talk about whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic there for sure. But hey, It's a great show. Thank you for all of our guests for coming on, and thank you guys for all tuning in. And make sure that you tune in next Wednesday when we kick off back-to-back triple headers, and we'll have a great weekend. Mike's got drill this weekend, Army stuff.
So fun, so fun.
Go do Army things. 3-day weekend for Mikey. No days off. Fuck you, buddy. Me?
Sir, yes, sir.
You know what? While you're doing Army stuff, I'm gonna be bringing my kids to boxing, baseball, basketball Saturday morning. It's like I don't have a day off either. So
I got a lot of meetings. There's gonna be a lot of meetings. That's the thing.
Yeah.
This is meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. That's what's going on.
that's what happens when you reach a certain
Carry a
weight.
clipboard and go to meetings.
Dude,
Very
carry
important.
it. Listen,
So important.
carry a clipboard in one hand and a coffee cup in the other, and just walk
point to
around.
things.
Walk around like you're on your way to something, and nobody
people
will
won't
bother
bother you. Yep. You point to shit. You walk with that clipboard, and they're like, "Oh fuck, Mike's doing something important. Holy shit! Don't go by Kyle. He's doing something you don't want to get pulled into. You don't want to see Matt Star and Mish walking around with a clipboard and go up to him. He might make you do something that you don't want to do. You see, he could be looking for KP. He could be looking for you to do a little bit of meat gazing, right? A little meat gaze. Piss
Nobody
test
knows
today.
what that means.
Yeah.
Piss test.
Well, when you have a
Meat gazing.
piss test, somebody's got to go watch you do the piss test. So you don't want to be pulled for a meat gazer. You don't want to do that shit. So go 3 hours of walking into the fucking men's bathroom while people take a piss. Not fun.
You don't want to be one of those guys. But anyways, hey, pray for Mike's troops this weekend because he's going to tear them down. And we're going to have a good weekend. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Mike, got anything else for the peoples?
Peace.
Peace.